Hey everyone! Lately I've noticed that you really love videos about the Nano Assembler, and that doesn't just mean you enjoy watching them. It means the developers also see the insane activity under those videos. They understand that the Nano Assembler is one of the most interesting and mysterious items in the game. And that means in the next update they might actually listen to what players want and add new versions of the Nano Assembler. What I'm about to show you today could really appear in the game if you show massive support under this video. Because I will try to share these ideas with the developer so they can actually take inspiration from this and add them into MELON Playground. So today I'm going to show you 4 completely new versions of the Nano Assembler that could completely change experiments in the game. The first version is Nano Assembler 2.0, an upgraded and more powerful version of the classic device. Visually it would look darker, with bright glowing lines and additional fusion slots. The biggest difference is that it could merge not just 2 objects, but 3 or even 4 at the same time. Imagine how many insane hybrids could be created. For example, combining a melon, a mechanical arm, and a fire element, or merging 2 different NPCs and adding a weapon to them in a single experiment. And the most interesting part is that the result wouldn't always be predictable. Sometimes the hybrid could become much stronger, sometimes it might behave strangely, and sometimes it could gain a unique effect that cannot be repeated. Those unpredictable outcomes would push players to search for secret combinations for hours. The second version is the Anomaly Nano Assembler, and this is where things get really crazy. It wouldn't just merge objects, it would manipulate properties. With it, you could change physics, gravity, or even the behavior of hybrids after fusion. For example, creating a character that doesn't fall down but floats slowly in the air. Or combining fire and ice into a single being that constantly produces unstable effects. This assembler could have an instability mode where, after frequent use, it starts glowing brighter, making strange sounds, and functioning unpredictably. And this would be the perfect place for developers to hide a secret form or hidden mode that activates only after a specific sequence of actions. The third version is the Evolution Nano Assembler. Its unique feature would be that hybrids do not remain static. They would slowly change over time. If a hybrid takes damage or stays in certain environmental conditions, it could evolve into a second form, gain new details, or enhance its abilities. This turns every experiment into long-term observation. You don't just create something and stop. You watch it grow, transform, and possibly become something completely new. And imagine if some evolved forms are extremely rare and appear only once. Discoveries like that would instantly become legendary. The fourth version is the Infinity Nano Assembler. This device would allow you to merge the results of one assembler with the results of another, creating experimental chains. For example, first merge 2 NPCs using Nano Assembler 2.0, then place that hybrid into the Anomaly Nano Assembler, and finally send it into the Evolution Nano Assembler. Each stage would add new effects, new properties, and new risks. If the chain becomes too complex, the device might overheat or generate an unstable form that cannot be removed normally. These types of experiments could become the most mysterious element of the future update. Now imagine that all these versions appear in Update 35.0. This would completely change how the game is played. The Nano Assembler would no longer be just a fusion tool. It would become a full experimental system where players build chains of reactions, search for hidden combinations, and test the limits of the game. There could be rare recipes unlocked only by a specific order of merges. There could be hybrids that behave differently after time passes. Maybe even forms that hint at future NPCs or mechanics. And if developers really see how much players care about the Nano Assembler and want it expanded, they might make it the center of the next big update. Because the Nano Assembler already proved it can hide secrets and Easter eggs. That means its evolution could hide even more. And if February 2026 becomes as massive as the previous February update, new Nano Assemblers could become the main feature. But let's go even further. Imagine if the new Nano Assemblers could interact not only with each other, but also with the environment. For example, using the Evolution Nano Assembler underwater might grant water abilities to the hybrid. Performing experiments near fire could create flame mutations. This would make every experiment unique depending on conditions. Players would start exploring different maps and locations just to discover rare forms. What if developers add a hidden stability meter? Every fusion increases instability. If it reaches maximum, something unexpected happens. Maybe a powerful energy burst. Maybe a corrupted hybrid. maybe temporary physics glitches. And if pushing the device too far unlocks a one-time secret form that would instantly become legendary, there could also be forbidden combinations. Certain objects that were never meant to be merged could produce dark or corrupted hybrids with unusual animations or behavior. Developers might not mention them in patch notes, leaving them as secrets for players to discover. Another idea is adaptive memory. What if the Nano Assembler remembers previous experiments? If you repeatedly merge similar objects, it starts adapting and producing more unstable or stronger outcomes. Suddenly the device feels alive, evolving alongside the player. Hidden achievements could also be tied to the new Nano Assemblers. Create 50 hybrids. Reach maximum instability. Discover a secret evolution. These goals would encourage constant experimentation. And imagine the amount of content this would generate. Rare forms. Secret evolutions. Debates about whether something is a bug or intentional. This is what keeps a sandbox game alive. If Update 35.0 truly expands the Nano Assembler like this, it won't just be a feature update. It will be a new era for MELON Playground. The Nano Assembler already became a symbol of experimentation and hidden mechanics. Its next evolution could transform the game into a massive laboratory of unpredictable possibilities. And if even part of these ideas becomes real, February 2026 could become one of the most mysterious and exciting moments in the game's history. And there's something even more important about all of this. When a mechanic becomes this deep and layered, it changes the way players think about the game. Instead of asking, "What can I build?" they start asking, "What can I discover?" That shift alone can redefine the entire experience. The Nano Assembler stops being just a crafting tool and starts feeling like a portal into unknown systems hidden inside the game's code. Imagine if certain hybrids begin reacting differently after long periods of time. Maybe a form that looks normal at first slowly changes its color. Maybe a hybrid that seems stable suddenly gains a new animation after several in-game minutes. Players would begin testing time itself as part of experiments. Does leaving a hybrid alone trigger evolution? Does repeated damage unlock hidden states? The mystery would expand beyond simple fusion. Another powerful idea is cross-map interaction. What if a hybrid created on one map behaves differently when transported to another? Maybe gravity strength changes its form. Maybe ocean maps trigger aquatic mutations. Maybe darker maps increase instability effects. That would turn every location into part of the experiment. And think about the social effect. The moment someone finds a rare hybrid or secret evolution, videos would explode. The community would debate whether it's real, whether it can be recreated, whether there's an even rarer version. The Nano Assembler would stop being predictable and start becoming legendary again. There's also the possibility of hidden narrative elements. What if certain unstable forms visually hint at something bigger? Strange symbols, unique glowing patterns, shapes that resemble unknown NPC silhouettes. Developers could quietly plant clues for future updates inside Nano Assembler results. Only the most observant players would notice. And that's what makes this theory so powerful. It doesn't just add content, it creates mystery. It gives players a reason to experiment again without knowing exactly what they're looking for. It turns MELON Playground into something closer to a laboratory of secrets rather than just a sandbox. If Update 35.0 truly pushes the Nano Assembler system further, we might not just get stronger hybrids. We might get a mechanic that evolves over time, reacts to player behavior, and hides layers beneath layers. And that's when the game becomes unforgettable. Because the best updates aren't the ones that show everything immediately. They're the ones that make players feel like explorers again. And if February 2026 delivers something like this, the Nano Assembler won't just return, it will redefine the limits of experimentation inside MELON Playground.